Hello, and welcome to Merrimack High School for today's contest between the Tomahawks and the Blue Hawks of Exeter. The NHIAA and its member schools thank you for coming to support your team today. High school sports are an extension of the classroom learning experience. The student athletes in front of you have worked hard in the classrooms and practice to be able to play here today. As we encourage them to demonstrate good sportsmanship, we would also like to ask that you, our fans, help us make this an event meaningful for our athletes by showing respect for your team, the opposing team, the coaches, and the officials. We thank you in advance for the positive sportsmanship that you will display. Please be reminded that for the safety of the players, coaches, and officials, all spectators are not permitted on the field before, during, or after the game. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. Now let's meet the starting lineups. For the Exeter Blue Hawks. In the net, number 0, Alex Foa. Number 4, Cam Lacouture. Number 6, Aiden Powers. Number 7, Cooper Vitti. Number 8, Sean Howe. Number 9, Alan Barreto. Number 10, Jude Keener. Number 17, Will Mannix. Number 18, Jack Blythe. Number 19, Finn Topitzer. And number 21, Marshall Lazowitz. The Blue Hawks are coached by head coach Dan Curran. And now for the starting lineup for the Merrimack Tomahawks. Number 9, Adrian Talbot. Number 6, Isaiah Traverso. Number 12, Luca Cable. In the net, number 00, Armin Omarajic. Number 24, Brody Toll. Number 3, Evan Brodsky. Number 7, Hunter Joseph. Number 17, Caden Martin. Number 20, Nathan Johnson. And number 8, Ryan Cirillo. And number 10, Daniel Kovrashenko. Coaching the Tomahawks are Mirsad Ivanovich and Coach Ray Juno. And now, if you can, please stand, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
All right, good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight for tonight's boys varsity soccer match. The Merrimack Tomahawks versus the Exeter Blue Hawks. Merrimack coming into this game 4-1-1 after they tied. They got a late tie in the game on Tuesday evening. The Exeter Blue Hawks tonight are 6-0, so this should prove to be quite the game tonight. I am Justin Slez, the Assistant Media Services Coordinator for Merrimack TV. I will be calling the game this evening, so if you'd bear with me, I'm going to do my absolute best, and I'm here with Cameron McDonald tonight. He is starting as an on-call media assistant, and he'll be running the camera. I'm going to get him to try to fill in some color commentary, maybe do a station read or two. As we get things kicked off here, I'll get into more spiel once the game starts progressing here. So looks like Merrimack and the Blue Hawks kind of fighting over at the middle of the field. Blue Hawks take over. And Viddy's got the ball. He's heading up the far side of the field. He's looking to cross it over, and it is blocked by Evan Brodsky. Want to thank Eric Chellis over at Blue Hawk Media, who's also carrying this game this evening. And Luca Cable heading up the field with some good speed. And kicked away toward the middle of the field. And we saw some really good defense by the Merrimack Tomahawks on Tuesday evening against Nashua South. Going to look to see if they can stand up tall again tonight against this 6-0 Blue Hawk team. There's Cam Lukachor. Kicks it up to about midfield. Controlled by Topitzer. Apologies for any of these pronunciations. And Will Mannix getting tripped up. And it looks like we're going to get some sort of penalty call here. Looks like Omar Rajic's going to just take a goal kick by the looks of it. And like I said before, we have Cameron McDonald here tonight. We got him. He works over at Bedford. He's come over here to do some on-call work here with us. How you doing tonight, Cameron?
Doing great, Justin. How about yourself?
I am doing just fine. How do you like it so far?
It's great. It's great. Staying busy. Enjoying some great soccer.
Yes, we've stayed quite busy this evening as we found out right around 10 of 4 that the game was pushed back to 5:30. So Merrimack TV sometimes the last to hear about it. Our on-call commentary, Brian Gagnon tonight, who is filling in for Lucas, he couldn't do a 5:30 game, so here I am doing my best to fill in the space here.
Doing an amazing job, Justin.
Thanks, Cameron. Both doing our best. As the ball falls back and back to midfield. And I left the Merrimack TV binoculars back at the studio, a classic foible here by myself. So I'm going to do my best to try and see these numbers from across the field. It's hard with the dark blue and the black with just a little bit of a white outline, but Tomahawks trying to break through. And they get caught up in the corner. It looks like we're just going to have a throw-in by Merrimack. And he's passing it off. Passing off the duty to, man, let's say number 10 maybe, Jude Keener. Oh no, that's the Blue Hawks. It might be Kovrashenko. And that looks like number 17. I guess we're getting a corner kick. My mistake. So Caden Martin is setting up for a corner kick here. See if he can get a good angle. Kind of leaves it outside the box. And that's Cirillo. A little fancy footwork trying to get through the Blue Hawks defense there. And that's going to be out of bounds. Cirillo tosses it in. It's Evan Brodsky kind of sets it in there right into the hands of the keeper. Alex Foa. And a nice boot to about midfield. Blue Hawks passing it up. Merrimack takes over and boots it right up, and that is going to be collected by Alex Foa again once more. If you're out there and you want to leave a comment about tonight's game, I actually didn't check to see if there's a post. But if there's a post about tonight's game, head on over to the Merrimack Facebook TV page, Merrimack TV Facebook page, Merrimack TV, facebook.com/Merrimack TV. Leave us a comment. Maybe you can help me out with some pronunciations. Let's really spell it out for me, especially the keeper for the Blue Hawks. Really appreciate that. Just leave us a comment under the post about this evening's game. I'm just double checking that we have one up. Yes, and we'd love to hear from you, whether you're cheering for the Tomahawks, whether you're cheering for the Blue Hawks. Let us know how you're watching, where you're watching from, maybe what player you're cheering for specifically, and maybe some phonetic spelling of how to pronounce some of these last names that I may or may not be butchering here. Up atop the press box here at Student Memorial Field. Big toss in, and off the head of what looked to be a Blue Hawks player. Merrimack keeps it in there. Trying to find some space, set something up here. And he just kind of clears it out. And a quick throw into Joseph. Oh, he takes that penalty pretty quick. I almost missed that one, but didn't get quite the angle he wanted on it, but very, very close. And Cameron, if you have a better eye on the numbers out on the field, feel free to shout them out to me if I'm reading out the wrong numbers here.
Trying to get a good eye on them.
Definitely put another pair of binoculars in the budget.
Oh, absolutely.
And just a little too far for the forward there. So Blue Hawks take over, pass back to the goalie, and then back to his defender. He sends it up the side, and he's just going to kind of jog it up, gives it a good boot. And there is Alan Barreto waiting for it. He gets it back, sends it over to Mannix. And someone just trying to keep control here. There's Topitzer, sends it in, but right to Omarajic. And he's kind of just surveying the field. Gives it a boot. A little past midfield there. Header from the Blue Hawks sends it back to midfield proper. And up the sideline for the Merrimack Tomahawks. Number 8, Cirillo. And it looked like he was looking for a penalty of some sort, but he's not going to get one there. It's Kovrashenko with the kick, just a little wide. And we want to thank our media assistant, Grace LeMay, back at the studio this evening. She is making sure the stream is running well. She'll be providing us with a couple replays here and there as she sees fit. So thanks so much to Grace LeMay back at the studio. As we're back at midfield, and this one's going to get a call in favor of the Tomahawks. Looks like they got a little tangled up there, but looks like Isaiah Traverso is going to take this one, as a lot of bodies head way up to the goal line, that 18-yard line. And really fighting for the ball there. It's Caden Martin send it up to Cirillo. Oh. Fua diving on it. Sends that one up to Vitti. He is flying up the sideline, and he sends that up to Barreto, waiting for him. A little bit of a push, but they're going to let him play it out, and that's just going to go past the goal line for what looks to be a corner kick.
Thanks for watching today's event on Merrimack TV. If you're interested in learning more about Merrimack TV, email Nicholas and Justin at merrimackTV or merrimacknh.gov.
Thanks, Cameron. We'd love to hear from you. Boots that one in, and pretty well placed, but just a little high if they were looking for a header in there. And the Tomahawks kind of take it over and just send it right out of bounds. Heaves that one right in, and to a waiting Blue Hawk. I believe that was Vitti, and that one's going wide. Tomahawks handing out kudos to each other for that one. Well deserved. And Omaragic gives the boot. Fall a little short of midfield, but with the header it'll make it over, and we're going to get a call. It's going to be Blue Hawks ball. Sends that right up to that 18-yard line, into the goalie box. Defender's waiting for it. Little header places it down for a Tomahawk there, and he sends it way up. And looks like Luca Cable there was waiting for it. Tries to send it to the middle, no one there. And the Blue Hawks take over again. He sends it out to the side. And kind of tying themselves up a little with the arms there. And not sure which way this one's going. Yeah, we'll have a little bit of pause here. I want to say that's Traverso with the boot. Keeps it low right to a Blue Hawks player, unfortunately. And they send it right up. And some good speed. That looks like number 17, Mannix. And he is by himself. And that's going to be a goal for the Exeter Blue Hawks there. Just snuck right past the defenders. And
this game changes so fast.
It does. So the Blue Hawks will be the beneficiary of that play. And they are up 1-0 as we approach 25 minutes left in this first half. And like I said, the Blue Hawks coming into this game 6-0, so definitely going to be a tough opponent here. But a rare slip up by this Tomahawks defense, just letting them slide by as the Blue Hawks take over in their own zone again. Tomahawks slow it down, turn it around. Sends it up, but there's a Blue Hawks player waiting for him. Let's look at Tor. And trying to find some space up the sideline here. But
It's looking real tight, looking like he's surrounded.
he is. Blythe's not letting him get through. Really nice defense there. And Blue Hawks take over. And wouldn't you know it, we are very blessed to have Lucas Goldberg join us today. So he's going to take over and maybe do a little bit better job on the call here. You have 50 minutes? So you got about 15 minutes with Lucas Goldberg, so I hope you'll enjoy it. I'm going to hand it over to him for now, and I'll join you a little bit later. Thanks, Lucas.
Might be a nice 35 minutes if we're lucky. How are we doing tonight? All right, let's get it started, even though it starts about 17 minutes ago.
Lucas, you might have a better idea about these numbers. I'm having a real, they're keeping it on the opposite side of the field, so I'm having a real hard time seeing the numbers and actually calling names here.
Got it. Well, yeah, all right. Good header by Nate Johnson right there. Powers will kick it out to the sideline. Go for a little cross pass, a little run through. And North is going hard on defense. Here's Fisher going the long way around. We'll kick it back to Powers. Vitti loses it for a second, and Omerijic picks it up. Omerijic can take his time. Omerijic gonna boot this one out. It's a high kick across the 50. Gonna make it a little bit past the 40. Go off a few heads, and they'll call a foul going towards North Way. I walked in as soon as they scored that goal.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I was like, oh.
If this was Brian Gagnon calling, I'd call it the announcer's jinx, but I don't know if you have that hanging over you, Lucas.
Well, I walked in. I was talking to one of the guys. I said, oh, no, I'm the unlucky curse. Here goes Powers. Ooh, a little through pass. He has him.
Left alone again. And
oh, just off the corner. And it goes in. And we'll stop talking about curses as the Tomahawks go down 2-0. What can we talk about?
Let's
fishing.
Yeah, hiking, fishing, anything else. And the Blue Hawks really finding a way to just sneak past the Tomahawks, which thus far this year have been fairly good at being a very stout defense to try and get through.
Yeah, I've heard. I saw one of their games earlier this season. They're looking like a good team. I'm pretty sure they're second in the standings, right below Bedford, but they're both undefeated.
Yes.
So this will be a tough deficit for the Tomahawks to come back from. We'll see how they manage.
Still plenty of time left.
Oh, yeah.
Tomahawks
100%.
are able to give them a little bit of pressure up front, but certainly just a back and forth game so far. I wouldn't say anyone's really in control of it outside of the score at this point.
Yeah. Here's Brudski. Gives it to Joseph. Loses it for a second. Here's Talbot going to try and dribble his way out of it. But Keener just gets it out of trouble. Pass it down to the sideline. Here's Keene. Now go out of bounds, going Merrimack way. Cirillo in a little bit of a foot fight right there. Exeter has control. Goes off a body. Who's going to get control of it? Exeter retains it, and they have some good amount of space. Long pass through the middle of the sideline. Wow, this field looks perfect right now with the freshly painted field. I just noticed that. And Exeter, they find a hole. Can they go up 3-0? And they do. Oh, Marichik in a pressure cooker right now.
He really is.
As Exeter turns on the burners.
And you can see the frustration.
Yeah. 100%.
From a couple of the players, and that is definitely a tough one.
And
they really don't seem to have an answer. Once they break through, it's all Exeter.
And Daniel Korochenko voicing his frustration to his defense, trying to get them on the reins and get back in this game as they go down 3-0 in a matter of minutes.
Looks like we're getting a sub here, number 2 on the
that will be
right
Jack Nichols.
defense.
Long pass towards the middle of the field, intercepted by Exeter. They'll keep control of it. Okay, Martin working hard to get that ball back. Ooh, Hunter Joseph lays the body out to get control of the ball. We'll have Korchenko take the free kick. Korchenko gonna. Yeah, I kind of got distracted there, but boy, oh boy, this field looks nice with the freshly painted.
Yeah, very pleasing. It's going to look real good under the Friday night lights.
Oh, absolutely.
And we hope you'll join us on Friday night for a kickoff about 6:30 against Goffstown. Going to be joined by Andy Berkeley in the studio.
Free kick by Korchenko. Oh, I thought that one
wow.
went in. What a leg on that kid.
Yeah, nice kick there, but just a little bit wide.
We'll have that. We actually have a on-call ball boy today instead of the. I don't know if you folks caught the game, the last game, but we had a mom come out at the last second, get the ball for the boys so the time doesn't run out. You could say she was a factor in that game. They scored after she came out.
They did. Yeah, they tied it up right around 5 minutes left in that game.
That's
and man,
incredible.
they really turned up the pressure at the end of that game too. You could tell.
Oh,
and in comes the
chance. Cirilio tries to use the body.
And my apologies, I totally missed the ball going in there for a second. I'm watching the ball boy out there with that one. I thought they were playing that ball. So
Jimmy Smith tries the long pass, just goes out of bounds, out of reach. Jack Nichols, I'll tell you something about Jack Nichols.
tell me.
We have a little bit of beef. Because
You do?
last year at the pep rally, it was musical chairs. It came down to us two. He won.
Oh, wow.
On a technicality.
Wow.
I'm not saying I'm upset about it, but pep rallies tomorrow for the school. Some old tensions picking up.
Yeah.
Felix Rotunde trying to keep control of it.
Did he win anything or just respect?
Just respect.
Okay.
I mean,
You can't buy respect, you know.
I was devastated. You know, I don't think I showed up to school for weeks. Cirilio trying to go down the field fast. The Exeter just right on their backs.
Yeah, there's been a defender there waiting for him every time they go up that sideline.
Yeah.
And just not really able to get past them.
Yeah, Exeter been a top team in the state for many moons now, and they know how to play soccer. Rotunde gonna try a long kick.
Ooh,
Good catch.
in the tips there.
Yeah.
And Lucas, we got Cameron McDonald. He's another fresh face.
Oh, really?
Tonight.
How you
So
doing?
This is
face.
first day at Merrimack TV, but he's
Really?
worked in Bedford TV for a while.
Oh, nice.
BCTV.
Scouted him out.
Yes, but he's here tonight for his
Worked me in.
first shift.
Nice.
Good to be behind the camera, y'all. Y'all are doing great. Had some hiccups today, but we're still here watching a great game.
Yes.
I like an Exeter on this offense. They're trying these long through passes through the middle of the field, but it's not working sometimes. It didn't work that last time, but it has been working. Oh, a good crosser. It's going to find its way to Jimmy Smith. Jimmy Smith going to try a curver, but goes off a body. Nichols just trying to get that one out of danger.
I'm trying to send that out of bounds, but
Here's Morrison.
oof.
And they're just able to get right through this defense. That'll be a throw-in for Exeter. It'll be Finn Topazer. Oh, it's good deflection by Korochenko. Here goes a good through pass for Morrison. He'll try and get some separation, but can't get it. And that'll go out of bounds and will be an Exeter throw-in. McCucher dribbles through the middle of the field, passes it to a few teammates. And there's Brody Toll. Tries a shot from about 30 yards out. Just an easy pickup for the goaltender. We'll do another boot, goes straight back to Brody Toll again. Here's Talbot. Oh, Korchenko won that one. He didn't know he was behind him. Yeah, teammates got to yell behind for him. Know what's coming up.
Oh, a nice sweeping kick there.
Yeah.
Kind of sends it up to a Tomahawk player.
Morrison tries to go through a few bodies. Rotunde's there. Can Cabell get there? He can't.
And he's kind of throwing his hands up.
Yeah. Oh, and Exeter's moving fast. Good deflection by Johnson to get it out of bounds. No danger there. Nick Rosa goes straight into the feet of Traverso. Here's Korchenko. Ooh, and Toll.
Ooh.
Oh, he had a stride and a half about on him, but
Getting tangled up
yeah,
there.
and that will go Merrimack's way.
Getting a little close-up look at that wonderfully painted turf.
Yeah.
Can you call it turf if it's still grass? That wonderfully painted
You're
pitch.
cutting it
How
close.
about pitch?
Yeah, pitch is good. Oh, that's a rocket.
Oh, and
Oh.
I thought that was going in, but
What a goal that would have been.
Fua just tipping it away.
And that'll be a foul going North's way. Good long free kick boot. Goes off the head of Kozrochenko. Couple more headers. Morrison's trying to get control of it. He does. That'll go Merrimack's way. We'll have a free kick. Merrimack going to try and get on the board here with a little bit over 12 minutes left to go. They try a pass. Doesn't work out in their favor. Ooh, good spin move. Oh, and he had the angle. Had the goalie out of position, but couldn't get the accuracy right. And that'll do it for me. I have to head out now.
Lucas, we were very happy to have you.
Great to
Kind of
speak
give
with
me a
you.
little reprieve here. let me hear the professional at work, and I'll hop back on.
All right, have a good night, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Lucas.
Great night.
And that was, of course, the voice of Lucas Goldberg. He is a senior this year at Merrimack High School. You thank him for dropping in.
Kid is a natural.
He absolutely is. We are so happy to have him calling some games again this year. It's been absolutely fantastic since he called us up and just asked if there was any opportunity to do something like this. And you know what? We were happy to let him do it, and he's been fantastic ever since. If you want to find out more about Merrimack TV or maybe some volunteer opportunities, he boots that one in, and it's just going to go past the goal line. You want to find out more opportunities here, Merrimack TV, you can email myself, Justin Slez, the Assistant Media Services Coordinator, or Nicholas LaValle, the Media Services Coordinator for Merrimack TV. Just email us at merrimacktv@merrimacknh.gov. Questions, comments, send them that way. Love to hear from you. And if you want a shout out for tonight's game, let us know how you're watching, who you're rooting for, whether it's Tomahawks or Exeter. Head on over to our Facebook page at Merrimack TV and leave us a comment under the post about tonight's game. Love to give you a shout out. And we'd love some phonetic spellings of some of these players as well.
Especially some of those last names.
Yes, the last names specifically. And Exeter's going to toss it in. There's Vitti. Sends it back to Hugh. Or Howe, maybe. Toppitzer on the outside. And he's fighting for the ball there with Morrison. Passes it right back to Lacewitz. He kicks it in, and oh,
there you go.
Omaragic just not letting him get that one, not getting by on that one. So
Make sure everything's all right, though.
everything's copacetic, gives him a little low 5. None of that down low too slow stuff either. And that's going to find its way right at about midfield after all's said and done. And it's kind of a little bit of a grab there. I mean, even I could see that one way up here. So Exeter's going to take over on this one. And they haven't really been wasting any time with any setup, but kind of slow walking it, and he's going to just have a look-see. Boots it in. That looks like it's going right towards the goal, about far left. And that looks like Lanigra trying to keep it in, but not able to do so. So Omaragic taking the boot. And Power sending it right back. And Tomahawks can't seem to get it up past the midfield here. Scooped up. As we get about 8.5 minutes left here in the first half. Gives a good boot past midfield. Header sends it right back into Tomahawks territory.
Defense is not playing this time around now.
They're got a tough go at it here with the 6-0 Bluehawks for sure. They're doing their best, but this is definitely a very tough offensive line in Exeter. As Tomahawks finally finding their way up into Exeter territory again and trying to keep it there. As he sends it up toward the goal, and diving save and back over. Oh. That's Noah Morrison trying to find that crossover back in, but not quite enough angle on it. As Fua gives it a boot. And that defensive line playing way up. But Omaragic ready for it. And Tomahawks will find themselves right back into Exeter territory here. As he gets tripped up. That was a nice looking play there, but couldn't quite get there in time. As the keeper scoops it up on Exeter's side. I think that was Toll with the play. Bluehawks scoop it away. And had a little luck here with those long kicks, but not this time. As Omaragic's just going to let it go out of bounds, and he'll get the goal kick. Having a good look at the field here. He's going to boot it right into the middle. See what comes of it. Tomahawks come up with it.
Tomahawks.
Very good. And there's Morrison putting up a little fight with LeCouture. And it's going to be Merrimack's ball. Caden
This
Martin
could be what
taking
they
this
need.
one. Not a whole lot to look at as far as setup goes. A lot of white shirts there waiting. And even with the benefit of the open goal, that's going to go a little high, unfortunately. I can't see who that was, but he's kind of throwing his head back as feels like he might have had a missed opportunity on that one. Blue Hawks take over, find some space up the right side. And they're moving fast. Tries to cross it over, but meets a tomahawk. And Tomahawk's offense playing with a little urgency here as they're down 3-0 currently with just about 4.5 minutes to play here in the first half against a very tough Exeter team, but it's felt like a pretty well-matched game outside of a few defensive slip-ups. Exeter taking up that right side line again. And a little shoulder action, but let them play that one out. Exeter tosses it in, finds a Merrimack Tomahawk. And a couple headers send it right back up to about midfield, and that's going to be a Merrimack throw-in. And we've got a whistle, not sure. Just for kicks, maybe. And he throws it in. He breaks his way past that first set of defenders. But they say, nope, we're heading it back the other direction. And that is going to be a throw-in for Merrimack. Defensive line playing up past the midfield as they kind of scurry backwards as the Blue Hawks take over. He sends it up, but Merrimack's just going to be there to clear it out, kind of reset. It's Jackson Nichols. Finn Topitzer's going to toss it in here. Over to Rosa. Rosa turns it around. Vitti sends it into the middle. It's number 5. La Nigra. And another Exeter throw in here. It looks like it might have slipped out of his hands a little bit. And Merrimack's going to benefit from that one as he's running hard up the sideline there. That looks like Tyler Hussey. Running hard for that one, but Exeter coming up with it, throws it in back to midfield. It's Jackson Nichols, tries to send it up. Morrison. And that's going to be a Merrimack ball. That was off of number 6, Aiden Powers. Nathan Johnson going to throw this one in. Throws it up to Morrison. He's there, but once again, just trying to break through on the outside from this Exeter defense has been pretty tough so far tonight for the Merrimack Tomahawks. As we find ourselves back to midfield and trying to get control of it here right in the last third of the field for Exeter. That's Vitti. He's heading up the sideline again, and that's just going to go out of bounds. Merrimack Tomahawks toss it in. Blue Hawks send it back. Dave Sharma back to... Oh, that's not Dave Sharma. Apologies. And Tomahawks thought they had a play there, but that looks like number 4, La Couture, waiting for them and sends it right back up to his team. Here's Jude Keener, sent into the middle of the field. Lasowitz over to Vitti. Vitti trying to make his way into the middle of the field himself. And back to Keener. Got some groans from the crowd. I don't know if they're looking for a call there, but and it looks like they're really definitely letting him play. Nathan Johnson with some hands on the back of Exeter there, and that might be the half. I think I might have missed out on the the last few minutes there. They do pause it at the 2-minute mark, so that's going to be your half here, folks. We got the Exeter Blue Hawks up 3-0. They were able to sneak through what has been a pretty solid Merrimack Tomahawks defense. Slipped through a couple times and just weren't able to stop them once they're past that line. Omar Rajic certainly trying his best, but definitely very frustrated after that third one for sure. I'm sure he was frustrated after each of them, but you could definitely tell it was very frustrating after that third one. Coach Islamovich is going to have a few words with them, maybe a little pep talk, maybe change up the plan a little bit, see what they can come up with. And Coach Coran probably very happy with his Exeter Blue Hawks after that first half performance, up 3-0. So they're going to talk it over, see what they can come up with in the second half. Pretty cool evening, getting cooler as we speak, as the sun is dropping down below the tree line. I've got a sweatshirt up here, but I don't know if Cameron brought anything.
No,
I don't know.
But it looks like I'll be cold tonight, Justin.
You
Looks like
might
I'll
be
cold tonight.
a little bit cold. My blood is fairly thin, and I run cold, so I'm always try to bring a little extra layer. Sorry we didn't give you the heads up on that one.
No, that is all right. It's been a minute since I've been able to experience the cold. I'm just getting back from Savannah, Georgia for 4 years, so
4 years, wow.
Experiencing the cold again is going to be a nice treat. It's going to be nice. I never liked wearing shorts everywhere I go, so.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No, I like wearing layers.
Layers,
so
perfect.
Experiencing the cold, so it'll be a nice little refresher.
You do any sort of winter sports, skiing, snowboarding?
My whole life.
Skiing, nice.
Snowboarding on and off, but skiing my whole life, Justin.
Perfect. Yes, I was on the varsity ski team here in Merrimack.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Yes, I really earned my letter. I gotta say.
I bet you did.
I wasn't great, but
but
we had a good time.
That's what it's all about.
It is what it's all about.
Skiing, getting in the snow. You gotta love it.
Yeah, I gotta recall Coach. I was coming down. Everyone was pretty much all gathered up around Coach at about midway down one of the mountains and came crashing through and accidentally knocked him right on his butt.
Oh my
goodness. That was one of my great regrets from ski team. So apologies to Coach. Didn't mean anything by it. Hope you're doing all right out there.
I bet he still thinks about that moment to
He
this day.
probably does. I'm probably holding it over me, but haven't heard from him, so that's fine. Let's have a look-see. Actually, Cameron, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Merrimack TV app? I'm actually kind of interested about that.
Yeah, are you enjoying the game? Check out more MHS sports action by downloading the Merrimack TV app. Merrimack TV is a free download from your device's app store. Download Merrimack TV on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, or Amazon Fire device to watch live varsity sports, concerts, meetings, events, and other on-demand content. You're watching Merrimack TV, your community, your voice.
Awesome. Thanks so much for telling me about that, Cameron. I really appreciate that.
Always, always, Justin.
And I'm checking the social media. If you're out there and you want to shout out, head over to our Facebook page, Merrimack TV, facebook.com/Merrimack TV if you're on some sort of laptop, or just Merrimack TV if you're on your phone. And check out today's post about the Merrimack Exeter game. Leave us a comment, anything you want, and we'll give you a shout out. Whether you're rooting for the Tomahawks, whether you're rooting for the Blue Hawks, whether you're rooting for me and Cameron up here on the press box, we'd love to hear from you. Just leave a comment, and we'll try and get at you before the end of the game here. I don't see any comments so far. We do have a few likes from John Grady, Hakari, McDowell, and, of course, Merrimack TV superfan Maureen Mooney. So thank you to you three. And I took my phone out so I could look ahead to some productions we got going on and coming up that you can look forward to. So, of course, tomorrow, Friday night, is going to be Merrimack Tomahawks right here as their homecoming game. They're going to welcome Goffstown Grizzlies into town, and that should be a good game. I'm not sure about their standings right now, but that should be a good game regardless. Still fairly early in the season. We got a few production upgrades that we're hopefully looking to have in place for tomorrow evening, so keep an eye out for that. We're going to have all hands on deck for Merrimack TV for that, and we're also going to be welcoming Andy Berkeley, and I believe we may have a color commentator outside myself. So Andy Berkeley, you may know him as the voice of the Merrimack Tomahawks hockey team. He really brings the, how do I want to say it, pizzazz? I'll say pizzazz, even though that feels like an understatement, despite how flashy that word is. So got a feeling he's going to really bring that pizzazz to the studio tomorrow evening. So we're really looking forward to having Andy in-house. He was calling the football games. He was the on-field announcer the past year or two here, maybe more. But we managed to sign him onto a short-term Merrimack TV contract. So we're going to have him in studio, and we're looking forward to our first football game of the year. Hopefully you'll join us at 6:30 kickoff tomorrow evening. And looking ahead to the following week, we, of course, will have a boys soccer game against Bishop Girton. That'll be 4 p.m. on what looks to be Tuesday evening. And if you can even believe this, it looks like we may have a third brand new on-call face here running camera once again. So you're just gonna meet all the new on-call folks here. That's hopefully they're all gonna give us a hand through the sports season and budget season through the winter here, as 3 sets of hands just doesn't feel like it's been enough as of late. So we'll meet Sean Diggins on Tuesday night for Merrimack boys soccer. I believe Lucas will be back in the house to call the game, and I will be trying to back him up as well on color commentary, hearing all my spiel as well. Sure you can't get enough of that. And then, of course, Wednesday evening we'll welcome Brian back as the Merrimack girls Tomahawks bring in Bishop Girton as well for some volleyball at the H. Dana Taylor Gymnasium. That looks to be about 5:15. You can always check day of. I wish I had checked what the time was today, as we were all set up right around 4 o'clock and finding out that the game wasn't until 5:30. So
never a dull moment.
Never
Justin.
a dull moment here, Cameron. So we were happy to have Cameron here. We actually got to go over a few extra details that we didn't feel like we had time for setting up earlier. So that worked out fairly well, even though now you get to listen to me call the game. That might be the only downside for that one. So we welcome you 5:15 next Wednesday for girls volleyball. They are a very, very strong team this year. They are looking very good, and we look forward to seeing them all throughout the season. Don't want to jinx anything, but definitely feels like a playoff contender for sure at this point. So, and man, wouldn't you know it, next week, Cameron, I think you might be back with us. We got girls varsity soccer again at
Yes, you know it.
what I have down here is 4 o'clock, but we never know. And we're going to be hosting Hanover. So we'll be looking forward to that as well. And, of course, the following Friday, the Keene, I believe, Blackhawks are in town for football Friday evening, 6:30 kickoff. So that's all your sports action coming up in the next about week or so. I also want to welcome anyone. There's been a lot of work going on down by the Central Fire Station. You may have noticed over the past quite a few months at this point. And we will be doing a ribbon cutting ceremony at the Souhegan River Trail, right at the head of that trail now that that's all finished. Ribbon cutting is slated to happen 11 a.m. on Thursday, September 26th. The public is, of course, welcome down there. Couple of special guests speaking. Merrimack TV will be there. Not sure if we're going to try and broadcast live or just record for later viewing, but you can, of course, catch that if you're not able to attend on Merrimack TV, on the Merrimack TV app, of course. That'll be on demand. Just pop it in. And, Cameron, I wanted to mention one of my favorite things about the Merrimack TV app is you download it, and you don't need a username. You don't need a password. You just open it up, and it's ready to go. So
That's incredible.
it is incredible. It's
so
unbelievable. As
straightforward.
we kick it off here in the second half, which if Merrimack can bring the energy they had at the end of the first half there, I think we'll be in for a fairly good game, even though they got a bit of a steep climb here to kind of even things out.
They do have to have that sense of urgency, I feel. I feel if they keep that going, they'll be able to break through that defense that Exeter seems to so greatly have.
Yes. So we'll see if they had enough Gatorade and orange slices on the sideline there to help them out. As Exeter kind of sticking with the plan of the long boots. And that looks like Connor Booten, but I'm not entirely sure. As Exeter already down here up in Merrimack's face. And the goaltender, he's wearing 0, so I'm going to assume that's Connor Booten. My skill with names and faces leaves much to be desired, so especially from this distance. Apologies if that's Omoragic, but I believe it's Connor Booten, and he sends that down, and that's just going to end up in the other end. As the Blue Hawks take over with a goal kick. Here's number 17, Will Mannix. And he's been trouble for the Merrimack Tomahawks defense. And that one's going to go high. Looks like might have been Reed Fisher. Was that number 11? Might have been Jude Keener. I'm not entirely sure. I just got a new prescription on my contacts too, so I think I'd be able to see. As Tomahawks get ready for goal kick. Booten's going to be booting this one. And there was no way I was going to resist that one, Cameron, so bear with me on this. And that's going to be out on the Tomahawks. As Lasewicz is going to toss this one in. Right up the sideline to number 9, Barreto. And that's out of bounds. Looks like it might be looks like they're setting up for a corner kick. It's hard for me to look at my sheet and see where the ball's going, so apologies to you at home. You can send your comments to the Facebook page or to Merrimack TV at merrimacknh.gov. Let me know how I can improve. As we get the boot in. Right to Booten. And he gathers it up. And kind of waiting for his team to head back as he lets it rip right on that goal line. And there's a fight for it right at midfield. And the Blue Hawks are going to come up with it as he goes right between the legs of a Tomahawks player. There's Sean Howe, and he's going to catch a little shoulder and will be the beneficiary of that call. And that looks like Caden Martin's kind of
a little frustrated.
He's frustrated with that one. He didn't think that needed a call, but trust the officials. Is Jack Blythe sends that one in, and Tomahawks will come up with it and send it back out right to a Blue Hawks player. And Connor Booten gathers it up.
Booten with some great catches so far this half.
Yes, very sure hands on him.
Very great patience as well before he makes his kicks.
And I know Omar Rajic is the typical starter, so he's probably, Booten's probably making the most of this right now. And here comes Caden Martin, but he'll lose it to Exeter. And a good play at midfield by Noah Devine, trying to keep it in there, but Exeter keeps coming up with it as they send it all the way across the field over to Sean Howe. Exeter kind of winding up and then thinking twice. And a lot of blue bodies there, and Booten just falls on the ball. And we do want to thank the officials, of course. This game cannot happen without the officials. It can't happen with a lot of volunteers, but especially the officials. So if you have any interest at all in officiating, you can head on over to NHIAA.org. They are always looking for officials. Feel like it always running kind of short. So if you have any interest at all, even if you want to just check it out and you're thinking about it, kind of check out the details, NHIAA.org. As the Tomahawks find themselves deep in Blue Hawks territory and sending it back out past the 18-yard line. And still having trouble when they're on the way outside. They're having a lot of trouble breaking in past that defense. That Blue Hawks defense is very strong when they're playing from the outside like that. Merrimack going to throw this one in. Looks like Kovarshenko, but could be anyone. Nice toss to the middle. But the Blue Hawks find it first and send it almost all the way back downfield. Tomahawks send it to the keeper, and he sends it right back up the sideline. That was to Evan Brodsky, but he's not able to go anywhere with it as Exeter's coming up with it, and they got numbers. And Tomahawks kind of juggling it around midfield there. Or the middle of the field, if you will, right in front of the goal. And that is going to bounce out of bounds, and Exeter will take over. Tomahawks boot it way up, and that's just going to get scooped right up by Alex Foa. Directing his team back down the field as he lets it rip just past midfield. And Exeter right up the sideline and then toward the middle of field as they cross the midfield mark. And there's Kovarshenko trying to send it up to the right wing. It's Barreto, but can't find it. Tomahawks defense sends it up. And they're back at midfield and trying to get back into Blue Hawks territory, but they cannot. As Sean Howe sends it right up to Alan Barreto. And a good boot by Will Mannix, but that one goes way wide. And Booten taking his time setting this one up.
Merrimack TV has been recognized by the Alliance for Community Media with awards for outstanding public education and government programming. Stay connected with Merrimack TV and follow us at facebook.com/MerrimackTV.
Thank you, Cameron. And just a little back and forth here in Tomahawk territory. And we finally got a shout out on our Facebook page from none other than Blue Hawk Media. It says, thanks for covering the game this evening. Go Blue Hawks. So that may or may not be Eric Chellis on the other end. I want to thank Eric Chellis at Blue Hawk Media for taking our game and broadcasting it. As we're going to get a call here, I think a little shove from a Merrimack Tomahawks into the back of an Exeter player. And that one's just not going to fly. Looks like LeCouture sends it way up. It's Jude Keener, sends it outside. And they're making their way back up the outside of the field here to Alan Barretto. He sends it to the middle, but Merrimack Tomahawks are going to send it up and out on the far end of the field. Exeter, quick toss in. a little spin move there by the Tomahawks, but that's not working for them. And we're going to get a whistle. Didn't quite catch what was happening on that one, but it looks like the Blue Hawks are going to kick that one from the far end of the field. And plenty of spots to choose from by the looks of it. And it looks like he's going to try and go straight in, actually. Goes right into the fray. And that is going to be a corner kick for Exeter. Exeter with the boot. Out towards that 18-yard line. And just a lot of bodies there. And it's going to go Merrimack's way. There's Noah Devine. Going to take this kick. And a nice boot. Almost all the way into that last third of the field there. Into Blue Hawks territory. Blue Hawks have it. They're trying to find their way up the sideline, but that's going to be a Merrimack throw-in. Or is it? Nope, that's going to be an Exeter throw-in. Good toss, kind of misses player, and that is just going to be an errant kick, and that's going to go out on Merrimack. A quick toss right back into the middle of the field for Blue Hawks, and there is a waiting Jude Keener, but nowhere to go with it. Tomahawks, Caden Martin trying to make his way up there with the ball, but again, back toward midfield. This is LeCouture. Takes it in midfield, boots it toward the middle, towards Tomahawks' end. And it's Lasewicz. Keener up the sideline and a little too far. He's trying to stop it there, but not able to. So Merrimack will get the goal kick. Connor Booten. And kind of just having a look at the field. Picks a spot and lets it rip. And just about at midfield when it catches the head of Nathan Johnson. And Merrimack making their way right toward the middle of the field. He sneaks by all kinds of defenders, and he just
doesn't.
Just wide there, unfortunately. But good footwork there. Wish I could see the number, but making quick work of that defense, but can't quite come away with anything, as they're going to be the beneficiaries of a corner kick here. Let's see if he can place the ball just so. And that is a beautifully placed ball, but no one there to kind of tap it in. You really can't place it any better than that.
No, that one's going to sting.
But a nice boot, but now we're back at midfield.
Back and forth.
Seemed to be the play of the game here is the old back and forth.
Absolutely.
There's Brody Toll. And he's just going to kick it right past the goal.
That one had me fooled.
Thought that went in?
Had me for a second.
All right. Yeah, the depth perception up here, once it's like twilight like this, it's kind of a little tricky.
It's gotten me a few times.
Here's Cam LeCouture. He's going to boot it right into the middle of the field. And that comes back Exeter's way. Here's Caden Martin. Over to Brody Toll. And another kick there. They're really putting the pressure on here. But not able to find the net. Cam LeCouture. Oof. Trying to head it. Looks like he caught it in the face. That'd be Nathan Johnson with the facer. Merrimack doing a really good job keeping it up here in the Blue Hawks territory. Keeping the pressure up. Here's, of course, Caden Martin. And it was kind of like a throw spaghetti at the wall kind of situation, see if anything sticks, but goes far left. And we're going to see another goal kick here by who else? Cam LeCouture. And see how many different ways I can pronounce that. Just like two, I think. But
I'm liking their consistency. They just need to stick the landing.
Yes.
Seems like they really are getting their footing now in this last half.
Absolutely. Looks like Hunter Joseph sends it over to the middle of the field. And he's going to find Cam LeCouture of the Blue Hawks, and he's going to send it up toward midfield. And the Blue Hawks find some spots to pass to. Heads it up toward the keeper, and he's going to fall on it. And Booten sending his team up the way, if you will. And falls a little short of midfield. As Tomahawks, they're fighting hard right now for that ball. And nice pass here.
Wonderful passes.
And a nice
There
kick,
we
and
go.
that is from the outside of the goal box there. And that is a nice goal by the Tomahawks. And they got to feel really good about that one. Awesome, awesome kick to get the Tomahawks on the board here as we approach the last half of the second half here. And we'll see if they can keep up the energy. It seems to be working pretty well. I feel like the momentum had kind of already shifted in the Tomahawks' favor, and hopefully this goal will keep it rolling for them. It's Brody Toll up the sideline. And we get a couple players down from each team, or they're rolling around, so they're going to wait a second and then blow the whistle. We got Aiden Powers down. on the Blue Hawks and Kovrashenko for Merrimack.
That looked like a massive kick.
Yep. And both very slow to get up. Kovrashenko up first. And he's got a bit of a hobble going. Applause from the audience. And up sits Aiden Powers, and he's up as well. Seems to be walking on his own accord. So, two opposing players kind of making sure each other's all right. As we get a couple subs in on their behalf. And I'll take the time here to find my light sweatshirt as it cools down here. Really starting to feel like mid-September.
Finally.
Finally. Feels like mid-September. And we'll probably have a little extra time at the end of this half for the clock stoppage just now. And Jude Keener sends it up over to Barreto. Barreto back to Owen Smith. Smith out to the sideline to Jimmy Smith. And there's number 19, Finn Topitzer. And the Blue Hawks are coming out swinging right now. There's number 13 up the sideline. Pazurik, and he just boots that right in the hands of the keeper as Connor Booten sets up. And right back to the Blue Hawks. Out comes Connor Booten to grab the ball on the outside, and we'll see if the Tomahawks can kind of shift it back into gear. It seems like it's all that momentum is just kind of faded away after that injury stoppage. And far into the field, they're fighting for it. Little spin move. And that's going to Exeter. Long toss into a bunch of bodies there, and it's going back out of bounds. And that looks to be another Exeter throw-in. Sends it backwards down the field. And Tomahawk sending it up to midfield. And we're going to get a call on that one. Number 24, Brody Toll, is going to get a little shove on the back of one of the Exeter players here, as he's slow to get up as well. And you don't really want to see this so late in the game. Might be Jack Blith. As they take the boot and send it almost down into the keeper's hands, and wow, Booten with a huge save there. Unbelievable. Thought that one was going in, but Booten says nope, not today. That keeps it at 3-1 in favor of the Exeter Blue Hawks. Jack Blith still holding his back after taking that tumble. We're going to have a corner kick as he boots it in. And that was a very high kick, so we're going to get a call in Merrimack's favor. This is Will Mannix with a really really high kick there. It's dangerous. And this looks to be Noah Devine, if I'm not mistaken, which I could be, but who's to say? Takes the kick up to midfield and then out of bounds. And that's going to be Exeter throw in, as Exeter seemed to just suck up all that momentum that the Tomahawks had, as they've been able to keep it down on Tomahawks end for the most part since that stoppage for the injuries.
That stoppage seemed to have really put a halt in that flow they were in right
It
there.
really did. And now it's all Exeter. And he's catching that one out of bounds. Merrimack hurrying it up, but they want to sub.
Bit of frustration.
In comes the Merrimack sub. Out goes Alexander Kayot, and in comes, that looks like Kovrashenko is back in action. And Nathan Johnson sends it to Kovrashenko. Aiden Talbot has it. Little spin move, Kovrashenko. He's back with a vengeance right now. Blue Hawks looking to clear it out. Merrimack's there to meet them, but gets kind of a weird bounce, and Will Mannix is bringing it up, sends it out to the wing. And Tomahawks fighting hard for it and send it right back to midfield, where a Blue Hawks player meets him and sends it into Tomahawks territory once again. And that one's going to roll out of bounds. Oh, nope. My depth perception is very off, so it's staying in bounds. And Tomahawks are coming up with it, but there's 3 white shirts over there. And another player down on Exeter. He's going to get right back up. Exeter having an easy time kind of dribbling it through there, but Merrimack does come up with it. Trying to do a little fancy footwork, but does not pay off. This little slide tackle there by Exeter. And a good dive by Connor Booten, but not necessary as that one goes far wide.
Thanks for watching again tonight's event on Merrimack TV, everybody. If you're interested in learning more about Merrimack TV, including volunteering, if you want to be a guest commentator, do some color commentary, feel free to email Nicholas and Justin at merrimackTV@merrimacknh.gov.
Thanks, Cameron. We'd love to hear from you.
If you have a good voice and you love to talk about sports, I'm sure you would be a great fit.
Yep, we'd love to have you. Got winter sports coming up sooner than later, I'm sure. I know feels like we just started fall sports, but not sure who's quite signed up yet for winter sports. I know Brian Gagnon, of course, will be on basketball. I think Andy will be on hockey again, if I'm not mistaken. Not sure what we're doing for wrestling yet. But Merrimack TV at merrimacknh.gov. Either Nicholas or Justin, as Sean Howe is really got those magic shoes on right now. The magic cleats, and too much fancy footwork there, and Merrimack's going to come up with this kick. Nice boot.
Huge boot.
And that goes right back down into Tomahawks territory, right inside the goal box. And that's going out of bounds. Not sure if this is going to be a corner or a goal kick. Looks like it's going to be a corner kick, by the way everyone's setting up. Sends that one in. Little outside. There's Will Mannix with a nice boot. Keeper picks it up and sends that one out to about midfield himself. Believe that's Caden Martin. He's got speed and a nice kick. Oh my goodness, and a groan from the stands here as that one just misses the top corner. And Caden Martin bringing the heat here. And with just over 9 minutes to go, they are not letting up. We got Russ Carden has left us a comment here on our Facebook page. He said, doing a great job with the coverage. So thank you so much, Russ, for letting us know that. Cam, sounds like you got some good camera work going.
Glad to hear. I'm glad to hear. Day one.
Yep, day one. Thank you so much, Russ. You want to shout out and you're out there, hit up the Merrimack TV Facebook page, leave a comment, and we'll try and get you before the end of regulation here. I don't think we're doing any kind of overtime. So you get about 8 minutes if you're out there listening and you want a little shout out. We'll do it for you. Thank you, Russ. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Another nice kick there, keeping the heat on.
The pressure is
Alex
incredible.
Fua. And Alex directing his team to head on back. And no one seems to be really in a rush at this point as time keeps ticking away. Merrimack Tomahawk still playing with a little urgency, though. And he's going to catch some legs there, but no call. Passes that one up to Caden Martin. Caden Martin trying to make his way around Lasowitz. And trying to drop that one in there for an opportunity, but just a little too far. As Alex Fua is coming around the corner here. Kind of taking his time as his team gets set up for the goal kick. It's like Cam LeCouture taking the kick here. Tomahawks come up with it, and they head right back up the field toward the Blue Hawks goal, and not so fast as Exeter gets the ball. And just a little back and forth here as someone tries to keep possession. Sean Howe trying to send it toward the middle, and out comes Connor Booten to just scoop it up before that gets out of hand. Gets it in his hands before it gets out of hand. It's a little wordplay there, Cameron.
That was some good wordplay, Justin.
Oh, thank you so much. And that one's going out on the Tomahawks. So Exeter. Okay. They're saying that's Merrimack ball. I don't think Merrimack's going to argue with that one.
See if that's the push they need.
Caden Martin up to Ryan Cirillo. And then back. And Thomas Dunnican with a toss in to Traverso. Traverso, a little spin move there. Trying to find his way up the sideline. And Jackson Nichols, let's see, might have been Noah Devine, just decides to clear that one out as the Blue Hawks were coming rushing up. So sends that one out, lets everyone else get set up. As we approach the 5-minute mark here in the last half of today's game. Really, really good game tonight so far. So
Absolutely. Great back and forths. Great moments all around, especially from both sides.
Yes, totally agree. If you want to relive the magic, you can always download the Merrimack TV app and watch this game on demand or any other high school sports game. We got meetings and other special event coverage on there as well. Merrimack TV app, anywhere you can get apps. iPhone, Android, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, or the Roku. Free download. Don't need a login, don't need a password. Just download it and you're
That
ready
is
to
just so convenient. Just
ready to watch. It's as convenient as can be, Cameron. Booten with the kick to just past midfield, meets a tomahawk. He kind of sends it backwards a little bit, but Blue Hawks coming up with it. And a hard slide tackle, trying to send it into Tomahawks territory. Tomahawks defender come up with it and send it back past midfield. And Blue Hawks dribbling up past midfield and right back into Tomahawks territory. Here's number 8, Sean Howe. And it's bumping up against Dunnican and trying to clear it out to the sideline, and they're just going to end up with a corner kick. Here's Sean Howe. A nice boot to the middle. Not to anyone in particular. And that one is going to be a goal kick this time. As we see a sub. In comes, I think that might be Morrison, but I could be mistaken. And right back into Tomahawks, or the Exeter territory here. Exeter trying to make the slip past the Tomahawks defense again. Little spin move, that's Alan Barretto. And he kind of just brings it back and see if he can get some of his players to set up for a play here. And someone lose a cleat or something? Something going flying there. I don't know what that was. And a Tomahawks player just kind of tosses it out. As there's a battle for the ball up the sideline here. Tomahawks looking to come up with it, but here comes the Blue Hawks, and he's got speed. And the Tomahawks just going to clear that one out again for another corner kick. As we've hit the 2-minute mark, so we are now on ref time. So had a lot of stoppage here, so might be going a little past that 2 minutes as that stays frozen up till end of regulation here. And from the corner, he kicks it in. A little bit short of the middle of the field. And that goes out of bounds, and we're going to get a goal kick from Alex Booten. And we're going to see if the Tomahawks will turn on the Jets here at all. As Exeter's more than happy to grab that ball and just send it up the sideline. It's like Nick Rosa boxing out Noah Devine. Oh, and that's putting some hands on a Tomahawks player there. And that'll just bounce out of bounds. Exeter ball for the throw-in. This Lasowitz. Nice hard toss, finds the foot of a Tomahawk. It's Alan Howe trying to send it up, and Tomahawks send it right on back. Kovarshenko Sends it over to Caden Martin. Martin sends it up. And Tomahawk's going to be tripped up on an Exeter player. And they're playing hard over there right now, but Tomahawk's going to need really a couple very quick goals to even tie this one up at this point. And the Blue Hawks are not conceding any kind of defense right now. And we get the goal kick just past midfield and out of bounds. That's going to be Merrimack ball. As Dunnican, hustling for it, sends it over to Noah Devine to put it back in bounds. Noah Devine up to Kayot. Kayot tries to send it over. There's Caden Martin. And Caden Martin just trying anything he can right now, knowing the Tomahawks are having a hard time getting up past that defense line. If he sees a hole, he's aiming for it right now. But far left that time, as the Blue Hawks just sort of moseying their way up to the goal line. And that's going to do it, folks, here. The Exeter Blue Hawks taking this one 3-1 as they go to 7-0 on the year. Merrimack Tomahawks going to fall to 4-2-1 after a really great game.
Incredible game.
Really back and forth game. Yeah, really good back and forth game. Really just a few unfortunate slip ups by what's otherwise been a very good defense all year long. The Exeter forwards just taking advantage and getting them right into the net. Able to see Alex Booten in the second half there. He brought some good plays there. A couple really, really good plays on that one. Omaragic just doing a great job there in the first half, but sometimes there's not really much you can do when it's you and the offensive player after they've made it past your defenders. So we want to thank you very much for watching today's game. We're going to catch you hopefully tomorrow if you like high school football. Hopefully you'll join us for 6:30 kickoff time. The Goffstown Grizzlies are coming to town for the Merrimack Tomahawks homecoming game. We're going to be joined by Andy Berkeley in the studio. We might have another color commentator other than myself. We got some production surprises that we're hoping to have in place for tomorrow evening, as long as we don't catch any snags. I want to thank Eric Chellis over at Blue Hawk Media for carrying our game today. I want to thank and welcome Cameron McDonald for running camera today and trying to throw in some station ID reads and some color commentary. We appreciate you having you here. And I want to thank Grace LeMay back at the studio for running some replays, making sure the stream is good. And I want to thank my mom and dad for always being there for me. And, of course, Lucas Goldberg for stopping in and bailing me out for a few minutes there. So we really appreciate that. Hopefully we will be seeing you tomorrow evening for some Friday Night Lights football. This is Merrimack TV, your community, your voice.